Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kainer. Reading you from our broadcast booth in Shea Stadium, where after a delay of 2 hours and 10 minutes, we are approaching the start of today's doubleheader between New York and Cincinnati. The game will get underway in about another 4 minutes. Johnny McCarthy's ground crew has removed the infield cover. They have been doing a lot of work on the baselines and trying to move as much of the water off the outfield as possible. It will be wet and it will be slippery in the outfield. The starting pitchers are now warming up. Interestingly enough, both starting pitchers are warming up in the New York Mets bullpen. So much water standing in the visiting bullpen that Jerry Nolan came over to the Mets bullpen behind the right field fence to do his warming up. The lineups and batting orders for the game today. For the Cincinnati Reds, Pete Rose in right field leading off. Bobby Tolan in center field hitting second. Tony Perez will be at third base hitting third. Johnny Bench behind the plate batting cleanup. Lee May at first base hitting fifth. Bernie Carbo, the left fielder, batting sixth. Tommy Helms at second base batting seventh. The shortstop, Woody Woodward, will hit eighth. And on the mound, batting ninth, right-hander Gary Nolan. Joe Hodges has Tommy Agee in center field leading off. Bud Harrelson at shortstop batting second. Leon Jones in left field batting third. Art Shamsky at first base hitting cleanup. Wayne Garrett playing second base batting number 5. Ron Swoboda in right field batting sixth. Joe Foy will play third base and hit seventh. Jerry Grody behind the plate batting eighth. And on the mound batting ninth, right-hander Gary Gentry. The umpires in today's game, Dave Davidson behind the plate. The senior arbiter and crew chief, Augie Donatelli at first. Chris Salakutis will call the plays around second. And John Kibler is the umpire third. Joe Hodges comes out to home plate to meet with Pete Rose, the captain of Cincinnati. And to talk with the umpires while exchanging the batting order slips and discuss the ground rules. This is the only doubleheader in the National League. Single game at Philadelphia. The Phillies lead the Houston Astros 2-0 in the top half of the fifth inning. They lead on a 2-run homer by Darren Johnson for Darren his 24th home run of the year. Wade Blassingame pitching against Rick Wise. Atlanta will be in Montreal. They are being delayed by rain. The Cubs have a day game later this afternoon in San Francisco. The Pirates an afternoon game against the Dodgers in Los Angeles. St. Louis plays a day game at San Diego. Bob Gibson won his 18th game yesterday and turned in his 17th complete game as he shut out San Diego. In the American League, the Yankees are playing a doubleheader at Sox Park in Chicago. Fritz Peterson pitching against Tommy John in the opener, and the White Sox lead 1-0 at the end of 3. Cleveland leading Oakland 4-2 after 4.5 innings. Blue Moon Odo is the Oakland pitcher, and Rich Hand is on the mound for Cleveland. Milwaukee playing at Detroit, no score in the third inning. Marty Patton and Mickey Lolich are the pitchers. At Minnesota, Big Frank Howard hit his 36th home run of the year. It came with 2 men on. And the Senators lead Minnesota 3-0 at the end of 1. Dick Bosman against Jim Perry. Perry, an 18-game winner. Kansas City leading Boston 1-0 after 2.5. Ex-Met Cal Kuntz on the mound for the Red Sox. And another ex-Met, Bob Johnson, is on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. California will play a 5:33 p.m. game at Baltimore. Well, the ground crew has now done just about all they can possibly do. It's just a matter of moments now until the New York Mets will be taking the field. Tomorrow is the day off. The Atlanta Braves will open a 3-game series against the Mets here at Shea on Tuesday night. Nolan Ryan will open the Atlanta series, followed by Jerry Koosman and then Jim McAndrew. New York Mets take the field. appears to be breaking up. Weatherman had said that it would stop raining around 2:30, and he appears to have called the shot accurately. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Gary Gentry reaches the mound, the crowd rising here at Shea Stadium, our national anthem. It's play ball at Shea Stadium, and Pete Rose will lead off against Gary Gentry. Gary has pitched superb in his last two starts, turning back the Cincinnati Reds 2-1 on a very strong formula, and repeating the performance his next time out. In the infield, Art Shamsky is flying first, Wayne Garrett at second, Bud Harrelson at shortstop, and Joe Foy will be at third. Leon Jones in left field, Tommy Agee in center. Around in right field, Ron Swoboda. Gary Gentry, 8-6, 9-6 of the year on the mound, with Gary Grody behind the plate. Gary has a lifetime record against Cincinnati of 2-2. And this year against the Reds has won one and lost one. Alex Gramus on the coaching lines at third for Cincinnati. The first base coach is Big Ted Kluszewski. For today's doubleheader as 42,000, which means that had the weather been all right, the game would have been a complete sellout. And even with all the rain, we have a big crowd here at Shea. Pete Rose stepping in to lead off against Gary Gentry. Joe Foy plays in close to third. Here's the pitch thrown by Gary, a drag bunt. Hustling in Wayne Garrett, he grabs and throws, he got him. Beautiful play. Dragging a bunt between the mound and first, and a beautiful fielding play by Wayne Garrett. Coming in full speed, he grabbed the ball with his bare hand and threw to first in the same motion, in time to get Pete Rose. Tommy Agee hurt his knee at yesterday's ball game, but is playing. His knee was examined by Dr. Peter Lamott, so he's playing with a knee bandage. Bobby Tolan, left-hand hitter facing Gary Gentry. Fastball at strike ball. Bobby Tolan hitting .322, and he takes a curve outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball, but it's taken by Bobby Tolan, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Gentry sighting in on his target. Around comes the arm. Line drive to the opposite field, a base hit. And the ball rolls to a dead stop, and all the water picked up by Cleon and thrown in. Oh, that outfield has a lot of water on it. As Cleon ran in to pick up the base hit, he was slashing water around. And there's so much water out there that when the line drive hit, it rolled to a complete stop in less than 10 feet. Bobby Tolan on first base with an opposite field single. The hitter is Tony Perez, batting .333. 38 home runs, 119 runs batted in. Let's have the infield looking for the double play. The outfield just about straight away against Tony Perez. Big right-hand slugger stands deep. Swing and a miss, strike one. Had this doubleheader been rained out today, it would have been a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon. But the patience has been rewarding, and we are underway. Right now, it looks pretty good. Next pitch by Gary Gentry. Hit in the air to right center field. Easy trying to reach it. It's going to be beyond his reach. Bounces up against the wall. A long hit for Tony Perez. Rounding third and heading home is Bobby Tolan. He scores. And the Reds lead 1-0. Easy was not able to run full speed on the outfield. It's just too wet. Ball landed at the base of the wall on the warning track. Bounced up against the fence. A long double for Tony Perez, his 22nd double. He has 120 runs batted in. I don't know whether Agey's knee was bothering him on that or not. He certainly was not able to go full tilt. Reds lead 1-0, and the hitter is Johnny Bench. Bench hitting .294. Swing and a miss, strike one. He won the game for the Reds in the ninth inning yesterday with a double to deep right, driving 2 runs in. Johnny Bench has 41 home runs and 123 runs batted in. Both figures lead the major leagues. Long drive foul, deep to left, up in the seats. 2 strike count. Johnny Bench, just 22 years old, only his 3rd year in the major leagues, and what a talent. Tony Perez leading off second base. Gary Gentry up in pitching position. The 2-strike delivery is high, and he held up on his swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The next hitter is Lee May, the first baseman. This is the only doubleheader in the National League. All the rest of the teams playing single games. The Mets lost yesterday, and their 2 rivals both won. The Pirates beat the Dodgers in 16 innings, 2-1. Pitch to Johnny Bench, curve in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Cubs won in a rout yesterday at San Francisco, 15-0, and Ken Holtzman pitched a 1-hitter. He only hit a single by Hal Lanier in the 8th inning. So at the moment, the Mets are 2.5 behind the Pirates, a game and a half in front of the Cubs. Now Bench cocks the bat. The 2-2 delivery. Slider outside, throw to second, not in time. Wayne Garrett moving over to handle the throw from Jerry Grody. Gary Gentry goes 3-2 on Johnny Bench. He had a 2-strike count. However, the second strike was a drive that went back up into the seats in deep left field. Now Gentry in the set position. And he steps off, forcing Perez back close to second. That's deep in the outfield against Johnny Bench. Bud Harrelson over in the hole at shortstop. Now Gentry comes to the stop position. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the screen, no play. Doubleheader scheduled to start at 5 after 1, actually get underway at 3:20. It appears the sun is trying to break through the overcast. Lee May in the on-deck circle times his swing. The 3-2 pitch to Bench, outside, ball 4. And 3 in a row have reached against Gary Gentry after he retired Pete Rose, the leadoff batter. Lee May comes up to hit with runners on first and second. Lee May has 27 home runs, 72 runs batted in. He's batting at .258. Gary Gentry looks around, checks the runners at first and second. Again, the infield is at double play depth with Garrett shaded toward the middle of the diamond. a change-up for a strike on the outside corner. Bernie Carbo, the left fielder, a left-hand batter, is on deck. The Reds as a team have a .276 batting average. Next pitch by Gentry, a changeup, just missed. He changed up off his curve. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cincinnati with an 11-game lead over the second-place Los Angeles Dodgers in the Western Division. And a high fly ball hit over toward the left field line. Leon Jones coming over right to the line is under it, and he makes the catch. Now there are 2 men away, and Bernie Carbo will be hitting. Carbo last year hit .359 to lead the American Association in batting. And as a rookie with the Reds this season, has hit 20 homers and knocked 54 runs in. Carbo plays left field against right-hand pitching, and Hal McRae plays left field against the left-hander. Left-hand hitter Bernie Carbo facing Gary Gentry. The Reds have a run in here in the top half of the first inning. Here's the pitch by Gary Gentry. A let-up that's high outside, ball 1. Tony Perez with a long double to right center field, brought home Bobby Tolan. The Reds lead 1-0. They have runners on first and second. Fastball to tie, 2 balls and no strikes. It will be very difficult playing the outfield this afternoon. On the warning track, the water is just standing. You don't realize how much water is in the outfield until you see one of the outfielders try to run. The 2-0 delivery, high, inside, 3-0 to Bernie Carbo. Tommy Helms, the on-deck batter, and he's been the hottest Cincinnati hitter in the series so far. Gary Gentry behind on Carbo, 3-0. Sparky Anderson has been getting the hit span on 3-0 all through the series. He does again, that is foul back over the screen. It's 3-1. He has so much hitting talent in the lineup, almost from top to bottom, he can give that green light on 3-0. Perez on second, Johnny Bench on first, 2 men down, 3-1 to Carbo. Gentry working off the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. Inside and low, he walks it. The bases are loaded. Before Tommy Helms steps in, we'll step out for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature reading 70 degrees. Cahoes Savings Bank time 3:30. Cahoes Savings Bank, where you earn 5% on savings from day of deposit to day of withdrawal.
Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. We're in the top of the first inning, it's Jay. First game of a doubleheader. The action delayed 2 hours and 5 minutes by rain. Tommy Helms facing Gary Gentry, and the Reds have the bases loaded, 2 men out. Gary using the full windup. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. Shortstop Woody Woodward, batting 8th in the order, is on deck. So Gary Gentry faces an early crisis. The bases are jammed. The 1-0 delivery. Foul back toward our broadcasting booth. No play. On the veteran Tommy Helms. He had 3 hits in yesterday's game. Tommy hitting .232 with 34 runs batted in. They play him straight away. And a broken bat foul back up into the crowd. The barrel of the bat went right toward the feet of Gary Gentry, and Gary had to move his feet to get out of the way of it. They're making those bats like they used to, are they, Ralph? That's what you call getting a bat sawed right off in the middle of it. He was left holding the handle, and the barrel of the bat went right at Gentry's feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tommy Helms. Tony Perez, the lead runner, on third. Johnny Bench on second. Bernie Carbo is on first. Now Gentry swings out of his windup. Down comes the pitch. A swing and a miss, or did he hold up in time? On the half swing, they rule in favor of Tommy Helms. Well, the plate umpire is Pat Davison. He asked Donatelli, the first base umpire, to help him out on the half swing. And Donatelli put hands down, indicating he did not swing it. Boy, that's a tough one. It is 2-2. You hate to lose one with the bases loaded. So Gary Gentry has to try and reach back again. Down comes the pitch. And a slow ground ball back to the mound. Gentry has it. Throws to first. Side retired. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 3 left on. In the middle of the first inning, the Cincinnati Reds won, and the New York Mets coming to bat. Gary Nolan, the Cincinnati pitcher in the first game of today's doubleheader, 22-year-old right-hander, has won 15 and lost only 5. Gary Nolan has a lifetime record against the New York Mets of 9 wins and only 1 loss. This year, Gary has beaten the Mets once without a setback. Cutting the defense, Nolan on the mound and Johnny Bench behind the plate. In the infield, Lee May is playing first, Tommy Helms is second, Woody Woodward is shortstop, Tony Perez is third. Bernie Carbo in left field, Bobby Tolan in center, Pete Rose around at right. Gary Nolan first came up to the Cincinnati Reds as an 18-year-old right-hander. Had a sensational rookie year and then had some arm trouble. The last 2 years he was held back by the arm trouble, and this year he's healthy again. He curved to Tommy Agee that's over, strike 1 call. Tommy Agee hurt his knee in yesterday's game. He has a wrap. It's hard to tell whether the knee was bothering him or the outfield was just that wet on the ball Perez hit. Fly ball, well hit to right field by Agee. Back goes Pete Rose to the warning track. It might. Gone. Well, he's limping as he rounds the bases. The first home run for Tommy Agee since the 11th of July. This ball game is tied up. A home run to right field. Well, it had been a long drive spell for Tommy Agee. His last home run was off Mike Wegener of Montreal on the 11th of July. About 6 weeks for Tommy. And that breaks the spell for him. Home run hitters usually get him in Cluster. Bud Harrelson up against Gary Nolan. Bunts one into the air, a foul ball. Bench tries for it, no play. One thing that did not look good, Ralph, as he rounded the bases, he was favoring that leg.
Going to first base where he wasn't sure whether or not the ball would go over the fence. He was not running well at all.
Home run of the year. Tied the ball game. Now the pitch to Buddy Harrelson. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Jorgensen, the backup center fielder, is away doing military duty. The 1-1 delivery. Taken high. 2 balls and a strike. Dave Marshall is on the injury list at the moment. It'd be quite a jolt to the mess if Tommy Agee had to go out of the lineup. Harrelson waiting. The young right-hander Gary Nolan comes around with the arm and a high fly ball hit the right field. Back goes Pete Rose. Back near the warning track, and he has it. Harrelson leaned into that. He hit it with real power, and Rose went back to the warning track to get it. One away, nobody on. It brings up Leon Jones. Leon hitting .253. Batting average rising steadily. Leon now has 8 homers, 46 runs batted in. He looks at a fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Eddie Yost on the coaching lines at third. Yogi Berra coaching at first. Now Johnny Bench provides the target. The pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sky is still mostly overcast. Started raining in the wee hours of the morning and just continued. Did not stop raining here in the Shea Stadium area until almost 3 o'clock. Foul tip, no play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Art Shamsky is the on-deck batter. Reds have beaten the Mets 7 out of 10 games this year. And a ground ball hammered down to third, a big hop taken by Tony Perez. The throw across to Lee May retires Cleon. There are 2 men away. Art Shamsky batting .296. Art has 7 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Nolan delivers. Fastball on the inside corner. Nolan has an amazing changeup for a young pitcher. The hitters will tell you that his changeup might be the best one in the league. Shamsky, a pull hitter. The Reds play him around to right. And the off-speed pitch is over, a call strike. Shamsky, in disagreement with Sat Davidson, steps out of the batter's box. Garrett loosening up his shoulder muscles in the on-deck circle. The 2-strike pitch to Shamsky. He's inside, and Johnny Bench starting for the dugout. That's one way to make yourself unpopular with an umpire. 1-2 the count. The previous pitch, it was Shamsky who was unhappy, and on the last one, the Reds. Pitching 1-2. It's popped up. Towering pop-up near home plate. Johnny Bench says to Shamsky, would you get out of the way, please? And he makes the catch near the plate. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. Let's tie the game on a home run to right field by Tommy Agee. At the end of one, the Cincinnati Reds won and the New York Mets won. Say, are you having any problems deciding on a suitable gift for an up-and-coming occasion? Perhaps we can solve your dilemma with a Met gift certificate. There are sets to go over big with the youngsters and the adults alike. They may be exchanged for tickets to any home game at Shea Stadium. The certificates are priced at $4 for a box seat and $3 for a reserve seat. Take our word for it, they'll make an ideal birthday, confirmation, or graduation gift. To place your order, simply write to the ticket manager at Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. Use the zip code number 11368. Because of the knee injury to Tommy Agee, he'll have to switching the outfield assignments around. Agee stays in the ball game, but moves to right field where he'll have to do less running. Leon Jones will play center, and Ron Swoboda moves to left. Limping on the knee that he hurt yesterday. And so Gil puts him in right field and moves Cleon to center. Ron Swoboda goes to left. Woody Woodward, the shortstop of the Cincinnati Reds, will be up against Gary Gentry in the top half of the second. Gentry out of his windup. The pitch thrown is a fast one outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Gary Gentry beat Cincinnati 2-1 on a 4-hitter on the last road trip. Fly ball hit in the air to very short right field. Hustling out Wayne Garrett. In comes Agee. Look out. And Agee makes the catch. They came very close to a collision. 1 away, nobody on. The batter is Gary Nolan. As a hitter, he's had 7 hits in 65 times at bat. A 108 batting average. Let's keep America beautiful, and let's keep it clean. The people at Rheingold ask you to do your part. Low, outside, ball 1. batting right-handed. Takes inside and low, ball 2, it's 2-0. The Reds scored in the first inning on Bobby Tolan's base hit and a long double to right center by Tony Perez. Over the outside corner, a call strike. It's 2-1. In the second game today, Tom Seaver pitches against Jim McLaughlin. Slow ground ball on the right side of the diamond, fielded by Shamsky. Gentry comes over to cover, 2 down. Two outs and nobody on. Now the leadoff batter, Pete Rose, will be up. He laid down a beautiful drag bunt leading off the ball game, and Garrett made a sensational play to throw him out. Pete Rose hitting at 318. Pitch by Gary Gentry. Fastball over, a call strike. All kinds of information being handed out in the press box today. We are advised that just under 2 inches of rain fell. 1.9. And a good fastball on the outside corner to Pete Rose. Let's have the infield a step to right, the outfield straight away. And a high pop fly into shallow left. Bud Harrelson moving out to the rim of the outfield. Near the line, makes the catch. Very strong inning for Gary Gentry. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the second inning, the Cincinnati Reds 1, the New York Mets 1.
McDonald's invites you to meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. That's right up and greet the Mets. Saturday, September 12th, will be McDonald's Day at Shea, when the amazing Mets meet the St. Louis Cards in a typical Shea Stadium baseball battle. And the folks at McDonald's want you to be there. So we're giving away 100 pair of father and son tickets to the big game. That's right, 100 dads and their sons will be McDonald's guests for the day at Shea. So head to your nearest McDonald's and register right now. No purchase is necessary. If you and your son are among the lucky winners, you'll receive a pair of free tickets to the Mets Cards game, a free round-trip bus ride, and a delicious lunch at a McDonald's on the way. Your host for the day, Ronald McDonald, wants you.
Cincinnati. Been quite a year for Gary Nolan. He's won 15 and lost only 5. He lost his last decision. Big comeback for the young right-hander. Nolan came up at the age of 18 this year. The Reds brought up a 19-year-old rookie left-hander, Don Gullett, and he has made a lot of contributions to the ball club. Wayne Garrett hits the first pitch in the air to left field. Bernie Carbo moves in 2 steps, taps the glove, and makes the catch. One out and nobody on. Ron Swoboda will be the hitter. Last year, bothered by arm trouble, Gary Nolan eventually went back to Indianapolis, back to the minor leagues to try and get his arm healthy again, and he succeeded in doing so. Here's the windup by Nolan. Down comes the pitch, a swing, and a miss and a fastball. In 1967, his rookie year, less than a year of baseball behind him, he won 14 and lost 8. Now the breaking ball is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. One delivery to Ron Swoboda. He takes the fastball high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitching 2-1. Swing and a miss, and he threw that one hard. They say of Gary Nolan that because of the arm trouble, he is not as fast now as when he first came up as an 18-year-old kid right out of high school almost. But he still throws very hard. It's 2-2. Fastball under the knees, ball 3, 3-2. It will be a little later today before the Cubs and Pirates get into action. They're on the West Coast, the Cubs playing in San Francisco, the Pirates at Dodger Stadium. Pitching 3-2, and it's strike 3. Ron started to go, held up on his swing, and hoped that it would be ball 4, but it was called strike 3. First strikeout for Gary Nolan, and the batter now is Joe Foy. Foy hitting at 240, 6 homers, 33 runs batted in. Cubs have played this weekend without Kenny Boswell. Boswell in Texas doing military duties. And it's high, 1 ball and no strikes. This would have been one of the huge crowds of the year had it not been for all the rain. Jerry Grody out on the on-deck circle. The game is tied 1-1. The Reds scoring in the first on Tolan's single and a double by Perez. Now a breaking ball over. Foy started to go and then held up on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tommy Agee got the Mets even in the first inning with a home run into the bullpen in right field. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball high. It's 2-1. Gary Nolan look as fast to you now, Rob, when he first came up?
No, he does not throw that hard, but he sure has learned how to mix his speeds up, and he's got a great change.
2-1 delivery. He misses high, and the count is 3-1. In winning 15 and losing 5, Gary Nolan has made 29 starts. Only 3 complete games, but because of the arm trouble the past couple of years, they get him out early if he gets in trouble. Swing and a miss. It's 3-2 to Joe Foy. He's worked 193 innings, allowed just 181 base hits. Solid earned run average of 3.4. Here's the 3-2 delivery now to Joe Foy, fouled off the mask of Johnny Bench. Cincinnati starters, rookie Wayne Simpson has the best ERA. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Joe Foy goes down swinging. The side retires. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 2 innings at Shea Stadium, the Cincinnati Reds won and the New York Mets won. We go to the 3rd inning here at Shea, and as the Reds come up against Gary Gentry, here to tell you all about it, Ralph Kainer.
Thank you, Bob Murphy, and hi, everyone. Bobby Tolan will lead off for Cincinnati here in the 3rd. Bobby singled to left and scored Cincinnati run. It's a 1-1 ball game with the Reds having 2 hits, the Mets 1, and the first pitch is bunted on, but bunted foul over the top of the screen, strike 1. Tolan's had 4 hits and 8 times up in this series, batting at .324. Left-hand batter, great speed. Gentry back, and the 1 strike pitch, a changeup high and away. On deck batter is Tony Perez, and then after Perez, Johnny Bench. Gentry in his 23rd start. Here's the pitch back to Tolan. Changeup again, and again it's high and away. 2-1. Two stolen bases in yesterday's ball game. The run is total up to 47. 2-1 pitch. Fastball outside and high is 3-1. Gentry has walked 2. Both
both walks coming in the first, and he had to get Tommy Helms on a good play by himself to retire the side and lead 3 on. Here's a pitch back. It is fouled high in the air over by the Mets dugout, and it's drifting back into the stand. So a full count to Bobby Tolan. Tolan acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the outstanding trades by Bob Housen, the general manager of the Cincinnati Reds. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gentry taking the sign shot. Jerry Grody, the catcher in this ball game, and the pitch. It is hit out to deep right field, going back to the warning track near the wall. As Tommy Agee is back against the wall. He jumps high in the air and makes the catch. Tommy Agee taking an extra base hit away and possibly a home run with his high jump and one-handed catch right at the top of the wall. Tony Perez, who doubled in the first run of the ball game, his first time up. Perez now with 120 RBI. 2 behind the league leader, the major league leader, Johnny Bench, who is the on-deck batter. And the first pitch to Perez, a curveball in the dirt, ball 1. Tommy Agee has been moved over to right field because of a bad knee. And he made a sparkling catch there. Didn't have to run for it. He drifted back, but had to jump high in the air. Here's a pitch outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Leon Jones is playing center field, and Ron Cebola, who started in right, is now in left, where Jones was. Now pitch low, and it's 3-0 to Tony Perez. Tony's double that drove him the Red run. His first base hit in this series. He's now 1 for 8, batting at .335. Next pitch, and he was enjoying the swing, but it was blown outside a curveball and ball 4. Third walk by Gary Gentry. It brings up Johnny Bench. Johnny worked out a walk in the 3-2 pitch his first time up. Leads the major leagues in home runs with 41. Runs batted in with 122, batting .294. He won yesterday's ball game with 2 men out in the 9th inning when he doubled in the right field corner to drive in the tying and winning run. His only base hit in the series. Now the pitch by Gentry with Perez running. It swung on and missed. Grody in trying to throw the ball, dropped it. And Perez gets his stolen base. That is Perez's 8th stolen base at 11 attempts. Scoring position, and Johnny Bench with the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Grounded slowly out to third. Foy over in front of the shortstop to cut it off. His throw to first base is in time as he holds Perez at second. So the Mets gets the second out of the inning, and that brings up Lee May for the Cincinnati Reds. We pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature reading 70 degrees. Cahoe Savings Bank time 4 o'clock. Time to look into a low-cost savings bank life insurance plan. It's Cahoe Savings Bank.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Shea Stadium. 1-1 ball game. The Reds with the runner at second. 2 men away, and the batter is Lee May. Lee May hit a towering fly ball to left field his first time up. Catch made by Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch. Curveball, too low a ball. May, who led the club in home runs last year with 38, has 27 this year with 72 RBIs, batting .257. Gentry checking out the sign, taking a long look, now set. Double look at second, here's the pitch. Fastball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Gentry has 1 win and 1 loss against Cincinnati this year. Lifetime, he's 2-2 against the Reds. Lee May, according to Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Reds, the hardest worker in the ball club. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Change up but low. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck batter, Bernie Carbo. the 3-0 pitch throughout the series, so you can expect it to happen here again, the hit sign being on. And the 3-0 delivery. May takes the strike at a changeup. Good pitch by Gentry. 3 balls, 1 strike. Perez with a good lead at second. Here's the pitch back at 3-1, and the fastball is swung on a miss. That pitch could have been out of the strike zone. High and maybe off of the plate outside. Full count now to Lee May. Outfield straightaway and deep. Agee very deep and right. And now Gentry ready. A check at second, the 3-2 pitch. And the pitch is taken outside, ball 4. That is the 4th walk in this ball game given up by Gentry. The ball returned to him is dropped by Gentry, but he quickly goes after it, picks it up, and Perez holds the second. Perez with a good lead at second. Here's the pitch back at 3-1, and the fastball is swung on a miss. That pitch could have been out of the strike zone. High and maybe off of the plate outside. Full count now to Lee May. Outfield straightaway and deep. Agee very deep and right. And now Gentry ready. A check at second, the 3-2 pitch. And the pitch is taken outside, ball 4. That is the 4th walk in this ball game given up by Gentry. The ball returned to him is dropped by Gentry, but he quickly goes after it, picks it up, and Perez holds the second. So runners at first and second as a result of 2 walks. The batter coming up will be Bernie Carbo, who walked his first time up. Left-hand batter with an average of .312 in his rookie year with 20 home runs, 54 RBIs. And Gentry with his first delivery. It is taken high, ball 1. Perez at second base, Lee May at first. 2 men away. We're in the top of the 3rd. The score 1-1. Now a piece of paper has floated down onto the infield, and Dave Davidson, known to most of his friends as Fat, goes out to pick it up. One ball, no strikes. Signs go out. Gentry back again. And he misses high again. It's 2 balls, no strike. You have a tendency with all the Cincinnati Red power, if you're a pitcher, to pitch too carefully. Pitch yourself behind, and then if you have to come in, you might be in trouble. 2-0 delivery. It is swung on and hit down the left field line. A long run for Ron Swoboda. He'll get to it. He goes into foul territory, makes a one-hand catch, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks, 2 men left on. And the score in the middle of the 3rd, the Reds won, the New York Mets won. We're going now to the bottom of the 3rd, and we'd like to take the opportunity to pass out a very happy birthday wish from all of us here in the broadcast booth to a great ball player of the past, Harry Hopper of the Boston Red Sox, who is 83 years of age today. So happy birthday, Harry. Jerry Grody will be the first batter for the Cincinnati Red pitcher, Gary Nolan, here in the bottom half of the 3rd. 1-1 ball game. Grody batting for the first time, hitting .271. He has 2 home runs, 26 RBI. And the first pitch by the right-hander, inside a ball. Mets have had 1 base hit, home run by Tommy Agee, and the Reds have had 2. single by Bobby Tolan, a double by Tony Perez to make it 1-1. Next pitch is ball 2, and the count 2-0. Now ball 3, and the count 3 balls, no strikes. Gary Nolan has struck out 2, walked none. And the right-hander with a 3-0 pitch. Ball 4 wasn't even close. Going outside. So the Mets have a runner at first with no one out. The score 1-1, and the pitcher Gary Gentry coming up. Pitching mound appears to be very dry, as does the batter's box. Gary Gentry has had control problems, so appearance might be deceiving. Gary Gentry has been up 50 times this year with 3 hits, batting .060. Right here, the Reds are looking for him to bunt. And the first pitch. Gentry takes it in bunting position. Strike 1. Pressure being put on by Tony Perez, charging hard from third, and Lee May charging hard from first. Perez starting from a position about 65 feet away. Now again, the pitch back to the plate is running out toward first, but foul, and the count strike 2. So Grody back to first base, and a new ball put in play. Anything on the ground here has to be thrown out. In the outfield, it's practically a submarine-type outfield. It's underwater. Just about 2 inches of rain. Big puddles of water all over the outfield. Now 2 strikes, the pitch to Gentry. He bunts it in the air. Ball is foul territory, and Johnny Bench makes a very routine, nonchalant one-hand catch, knowing that if he doesn't catch it, it doesn't make any difference. So he takes the strikeout away from Nolan, gets the foot out on catching the foul pop-up. That brings up Tommy Agee. Tommy hit a home run over the right field fence his first time up. It was his first home run since July 11th and his 20th home run of the year. He leads the club in home runs with 20. Runs batted him at 63. Here's the pitch. Line inside as Rock Agee back away from the plate. Ball 1. Little brush back pitch from Gary Nolan. Barry Grody at first base, walking on 4 pitches. 1 man out. The count 1-0 to Tommy Agee. Pitch back, a fastball inside, ball 2. Agee's home run over the right field fence. Score 1-1. 1 man out, bottom of the 3rd. And the pitch that is inside and low puts the count at 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch to Agee. In for a call strike. Gary Nolan started pitching with the Cincinnati Reds when he was 18 years of age. Has a lifetime record of 46 wins and 25 losses. He's now 22. 3-1 pitch. Agee takes high, ball 4, and that puts runners at first and second on 2 walks and brings up Bud Harrelson. Flied out to deep right field his first time up, putting Pete Rose back in the warning track. Harrelson batting at .250 with 1 home run and 36 RBI. Johnny Bench out to the mound to talk with Gary Nolan. Both Bench and Nolan are 22 years of age. One has won 15 games, lost 5. The other leads the major leagues in home runs and runs batted in. First pitch to Harrelson, inside and low, ball 1. Bud brother's had 3 hits and 7 times up in the series. Batting left-handed against the right-hander. The 1-0 pitch, grounded out foul by Yogi Berra, who has his back turned to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, Trainer coming out the mound to offer Gary Nolan the towel. Asking whether or not he could put it in his back pocket. I don't think they'll allow him to do that if it shows. They have 2 sizes. One very big that cannot be stuffed away. The other, if it goes in the back pocket, cannot show as it is white. You cannot have a foreign substance around. With all the rain, of course, very heavy humidity here at the ballpark, although the ball appears to be carrying well. No wind at all. Now the 1-1 delivery. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now 2-1, and the pitch is popped up at infield fly. The batter automatically out as Tony Perez makes the catch. That gives the Reds their second out of the inning. It brings up Cleon Jones. Cleon grounded to third and was out his first time up. Batting .252 with 8 home runs, 46 RBI. Score tied at 1 apiece. Mets have runners at first and second as a result of 2 walks. And now once again Johnny Bench is out in the mound talking with his pitcher. Back to send the signs out. And the first pitch by Gary Nolan to Cleon Jones. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Cleon with a hard swing out in front of a changeup. Ball game was scheduled to start at 1:05. It got underway at 2:15. Longest rain delay of the year. 1 strike pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Bench picks it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Right now, we have sunshine breaking through. Where were you when we needed you? One ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Jones. Hitting the hole. It might go through. Woodward over, ties, gets it, throws the second. Too late. A great stop by Helms. Brody on third does not attempt to come in. That'll be a base hit. The bases will be loaded. Woodward diving, skidding along the ground, fielded the ball. Tried to get a play at second. He had no chance there. It almost threw the ball away, and Helms took the throw and back of the bag, knocking it down. Brody went to third and held there, and it's a bases loaded situation, and Art Shamsky coming up. Don't believe that Brody could have scored if he had tried, because Helms really got on the ball in a hurry after he knocked down the bad throw. So the play by Woodward saves the run. The Mets now have the bases loaded. At least it saves the run temporarily. Art Shamsky, the batter. Art fouled out his first time up. First pitch is swung on and fouled back. Strike 1. Base hit by Cleon Jones, the second for the Mets. So both sides now have had 2 hits in the ball game as it stands at 1-1. And in this ball game, both sides have had the bases loaded now. Gary Nolan with a 1-strike pitch. It's in for a call, strike 2. Shamsky, formerly with the Cincinnati Reds. Center fielder Bobby Dolan plays him way over in right center. Now at 2 strikes, the pitch taken high, 1-2. Shamsky's batting .295 for the year with 7 home runs and 33 RBI. In the series, he's 2 for 4. One ball, 2 strikes. pitch is swung on and missed, and he got him with a changeup. That ends the inning. Gary Nolan's third strikeout. No runs, one hit. No errors, 2 walks, 3 men left on, and the score. At the end of 3, the Cincinnati Reds won, the New York Mets won. Well, Jane Jarvis, master of the organ here at Shea Stadium, playing the Marine hymn, and down below the radio TV booth, a group of Marines standing at attention and receiving the plaudits of the fans here at Shea. And also standing at attention, Mr. Robert Murphy, formerly of the United States Marines. First batter for Cincinnati is a move up to the 4th inning. Tommy Helms. Tommy was out on a good play by Gary Gentry with the bases loaded to end the inning his first time up. Now he drills one down the left field line, but it's foul. Foul by about 2 or 3 feet. Hard smash to left field. Tommy Helms has had 5 hits and 9 times up in the series to raise his average up to 232. Had 1 home run, 34 RBIs. Now, home plate umpire Dave Davidson is measuring out the batter's box and pointing to where Helms can stand. Helms stands very deep in the batter's box, and with the line erased, he uses the bat to measure out where the back line is. 1 strike count. Gentry has given up 1 run, allowed 2 hits. And the right-hander back with a curve. It's popped into left center field, high enough for Cleon Jones to have time to get to it. And as he tramples through the water, the lake out there, he makes the catch. That'll bring up the shortstop, Woody Woodward, who's played diving to knock and catch the ball that Cleon Jones had saved a run back in the 3rd inning. Woody flied to right his first time up, batting .249 for the year. And the right-hander Gentry back to the plate with a curveball, but it is outside. That was a change curve. It's 1-0. At the end of 7 1/2 innings, Chicago won, the Yankees nothing. Fastball too low, 2 balls, no strikes. Sun has broken through here at Shea Stadium. 2-0 pitch, low and outside, ball 3. Bill Gentry, who has walked 4. Now at 3-0 to Woody Woodward. Woody, a right-hand batter. And he's in the dirt with the next pitch, ball 4, and Gentry has walked him 4 pitches. Brings up the pitcher, Gary Nolan. Nolan has rounded out in his 1 appearance. He has been up 66 times to 7 base hits. Mets are looking for a sacrifice. The on-deck batter, Pete Rose. First pitch is taken outside, a ball. Fastball missing. 5 in a row since the out by Tommy Helms. Out of the strike zone. Gentry's last 2 outings were complete games, and he was very sharp. He's had control problem in this ball game. 1-0 pitch. Taken low and inside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes, and Gentry wants to know where the pitch was. And Gentry not really saying a whole lot, just acting very disgusted with that call. Dave Davidson calling the strikes and balls. Again, Joe Foy, the third baseman, in tight. And the 2-0 pitch is bunted hard towards first base. It stays fair. And Champsky started to throw to second base and then decided not to, and threw to Wayne Garrett covering at first for the out. So the sacrifice moves the runner in scoring position. Brings up Pete Rose. Pete is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Tried to be out of bunt in the first pitch of the ball game, was thrown out by Gary Gentry. Should say actually by Wayne Garrett. Next time up, he popped up the short. Pete batting .316 with 161 hits. And the first pitch. Swung on and and missed. He with a hard swing at a fastball about letter high. Strike one. Speed batting left-handed against the right-hander, being played straight away. The one-strike delivery. Swung on and missed again. A hard fastball, strike two. Two strikes. Gentry back to the plate. The pitch is hit into center field. A lazy fly ball. Leon Jones waiting for it. Glasses down. He makes the catch and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, a sacrifice. A man left at second, and the score in the middle of the fourth inning. Cincinnati Reds 1, New York Mets 1. Going to the bottom of the fourth, the first game of a doubleheader that was delayed about 2 hours and 10 minutes because of rain. Score at 1-1. Both sides with 2 base hits. The Mets coming up, and their first batter will be Wayne Garrett. In the second ball game, Tom Seaver is scheduled to pitch. Tom will be going for his 18th win. He's lost 8. And Jim McLaughlin will be pitching against him. Jim for the Reds has won 11 and lost 7. Score in that Yankee ball game, Chicago 2, the Yankees nothing. Tommy John winning the ball game with a 4-hitter. It's his 11th win. He's lost 13. Rich Peterson, the loser, he's now 13-9. No home runs in the game. First of the schedule 2. The first pitch to Wayne Garrett is outside the ball. Gary Nolan working on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Garrett 0 for 1 in this ball game, and he takes low and inside ball 2. Wayne flied out to left field on the first pitch that he saw in the game. Batting at .238. He has had no hits in this series. 0 for 7. Now a strike call off a fastball over the outside corner knee high. Wayne with 10 home runs, 32 RBIs. He had 1 home run last year. One strike. And the pitch is swung on and fouled back. Ball going back over the top of the screen, 2-2. After Wayne Garrett, Ron Swoboda and Joe Foy. Reds got a run in the first on a single by Bobby Tolan with 1 away. And a 1-out double by Tony Perez. The Mets tied it up when Tommy Agee, as the leadoff batter, hit a home run over the right field fence. That's the way it stands here with no one out in the bottom half of the fourth. And the 2-2 delivery. Rounded slowly out towards first base. Lee May takes it, waves the pitcher off, and goes to the bag for the out. And they'll bring up Ron Swoboda with 1 man away. Ron struck out his first time up. .242 with 9 home runs, 36 RBIs. He drove in a run for the Mets yesterday. And until 2 men were out in the ninth, there was a winning run. But then the Reds turned the game around. There's a drive to left, a base hit. 1 man out, bottom half of the fourth. Both sides have left the bases loaded. The Reds in the first. The Mets in the third. First pitch to Foy, right-hand batter, is hit deep to left center field, but not deep enough as Tolan comes over to make the call, and he makes the catch. Ron Swoboda goes back to first base, 2 men away, and it brings up Gary Grody. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany. The temperature is 71 degrees. Time 4:30. Time to save at Cahoe's Savings Bank, where interest is highest in Latham and Cahoe's.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Shea Stadium. Game delayed over 2 hours before getting started. Then the first game of a doubleheader. Score tied 1-1. Jerry Grody the batter. Jerry walked in 4 pitches his first time up. Now he takes the ball. Throw to first base is wide of its mark, although Ron was back easily. Lee May had to go into foul foul territory to make a one-hand grab at the throw by Johnny Bench. Brody with a count at 1 ball, no strikes, batting .271 this year. Had 2 home runs, driven in 26. Here's a pitch back, popped up. Coming over is Tommy Helms, the second baseman, back of first base. And Tommy makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left at first. And the score at the end of 4, the Reds won, the Mets won. In the top of the 5th inning. Today, the New York Mets extend a warm welcome to the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps from Washington, D.C. They will be entertaining the fans here at Shea Stadium between the games. Center fielder Bobby Tolan hitting .323. Good-looking all-around ball player. Single to left, later scored in the 1st inning. Fly deep to right field in the 3rd inning. Tommy Agee, with his back to the wall, leaped high to make the catch. Now he runs up as though to bunt, doesn't offer, and the pitch is over. Strike 1 call. Tony Perez, the on-deck batter, and then Johnny Bench. It's high, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Crowd still coming in. Many were waiting to see whether or not the doubleheader could be played. Here's the 1-1 delivery by Gentry. A change that's over at the letters for a call strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery lined foul deep down the right field line over in the crowd. At San Francisco this afternoon, Milt Pappas, 9-5 on the year, will pitch for the Cubs. Juan Marichal, the Giant pitcher. Marichal has been pitching much better ball the last month. At Dodger Stadium, Steve Blass will go for the Pirates. Alan Foster for the Dodgers. The 1-2 pitch to Bobby Tolan, pulled foul off of his foot. At San Diego, Jerry Royce pitches for the St. Louis Cardinals, and Clay Kirby for the San Diego Padres. Atlanta and Montreal rained on. The speedster Bobby Tolan, left-hand hitter. Pitch by Gary Gentry, swing and a miss. He got it. First strikeout for Gary Gentry. Tony Perez doubled to deep right center, bringing home Bobby Tolan in the 1st inning. He reached on a walk and stole second in the 3rd inning. Perez hitting .335. And a changeup hit a mile down the left field line. It may go foul. Foul ball. Well, Tony Perez was figuring with Gary Gentry. And Gentry started him off with a changeup. Perez hit it far back into the low section, but fortunately for the Mets, a foul ball. He hit a change to right center for a double in the 1st inning. And another change, but it's outside, this time off the curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball high, 2-1. And Tony Perez doubled home Bobby Tolan in the 1st inning. It was his 120th run batted in. Fouls back over our broadcasting booth. Evens the count at 2-2. The Atlanta Braves open a 3-game series here at Shea Stadium on Tuesday night. Gil Hodges has picked Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman, and Jim McAndrew to face the Braves in the 3 games. Pitching 2-2, and Perez takes it high, a full count. There are 2 puddles of water in deep center field. They must be ankle deep. 3-2 delivery. Hit hard, base hit right down the left field line. Tony Perez is rounding first. He's on his way to second. No throw. He goes in standing up with a double. For Tony Perez, his 22nd 2-base hit of the year. combination of 2 base hits that you find hard to believe. They have power. Johnny Bench facing Gary Gentry. Bench has reached on a walk and bounced out to third. Game tied 1-1. Reds now have a runner in scoring position. The pitch to Johnny Bench. He held up on his swing, checked it in time, ball 1. Johnny Bench and Lee May each have 29 doubles. Pete Rose has 28, Bobby Tolan 27, and Tony Perez 22. 1 ball, no strikes. Change up is foul, back over the screen, 1 ball and 1 strike. For those of you who may have joined us late and wonder about the progress, the doubleheader was delayed over 2 hours because of rain. Scheduled for 1:05, it actually started at 3:20. And an off-speed pitch, if he changed up on the fastball is outside, it's 2-1. Tony Perez leading off second base. The pitch to Johnny Bench. And a drive well hit to left center. It's deep. Back goes Leon. It may go. And there it goes. A home run. The 42nd home run of the year for the Major League leader, Johnny Bench. Up the power alley in left center field. And the Reds go out in front 3-1. Gary Gentry. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. The record for home runs by a catcher in the National League is 41, held by Roy Campanella. Johnny Bench has just hit his 42nd. However, 8 of the home runs hit by Bench this year have been hit when he was playing in the outfield. A high pop foul near the plate. Jerry Grody gets rid of the mask. He's under it, and he makes the catch. Bench, as a catcher, has hit 34. If they are to give him credit for the new record, he would have to hit 8 more. Or they would have to put an asterisk on the figure. Bernie Carbo faces Gary Gentry and takes a fastball inside, ball 1. Well, when you've hit 42 home runs in August and you're just 22 years old, your 3rd year in the major leagues, you have quite a career launched. Over the outside corner, a call strike to left fielder Bernie Carbo. Gentry getting his sign from Jerry Grody. Here's the pitch on the way. Hit hard to center field. Back goes Leon Jones to the warning track. He makes the catch going right through that big water hole. He had to go right through the big water puddle we were talking about just a few moments ago. And the water was flying up shoulder high. Good play by Cleon. Side retired. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the 5th inning, the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the New York Mets 1. That's trailing by 2 now as they come on to hit against Gary Nolan in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Middle of that Cincinnati batting order exerting itself. A double by Tony Perez and a home run by Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench with his 2-run homer raised his RBI total to 125. It has been a long time in the National League since anyone knocked in over 150 runs in a season. Memory serves me, the last to do so was Tommy Davis, when he won a batting title with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Fastball over to Gary Gentry, strike 1. fastball fouled off the mask of Johnny Bench. In 1962, Tommy Davis had 153 RBIs with the Dodgers. And I believe there has been none since that time to drive in over 150 in the National League. And a curve in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Getting cloudy again. We had bright sunshine for about a half an hour. Pitching 1 and 2, and a squibbler out in front of the plate, a fair ball. Bench picks it up, and he throws to Lee May, retiring Gary Gentry. Nobody on. Last of the 5th inning, the batter is Tommy Agee. Cincinnati got a run in the 1st inning when Bobby Tolan singled and Tony Perez doubled. And Tommy Agee tied the game immediately in the last of the 1st inning with a home run into the right field bullpen. His 20th home run of the year. Agee's 2nd time at bat in the 3rd inning, he drew a walk. And a drive over 2nd into center field. A base hit for Tommy Agee. And Tommy limps down to first base. He hurt his knee in yesterday's ball game, and he doesn't remember exactly how he did it. Bud Harrelson has flied to deep right and popped up to third, nothing for 2. Bud batting .249. Leon Jones comes out on deck. Nolan's pitch is hit in the air to left field, and moving over to the line, Bernie Carbo. And the left fielder makes the catch. Harrelson retired on 1 pitch on the fly ball to left field. Leon Jones comes up. Leon, 1 for 2, reached on an infield hit to shortstop, his last time at bat. Each team has 4 base hits. The difference being 3 of the 4 Cincinnati hits have been extra base hits. At this point have a single by Bobby Tolan, 2 doubles by Tony Perez, and a home run by Johnny Bench. The Mets have a home run by Tommy Agee and 3 singles. And the pitch on the way, inside to Leon Jones, ball 1. Leon batting .254. Leon hit .297 in a very solid year. And then last year, .340. This one, it appeared Leon was about to really break out of his batting slump. He suffered a groin injury. And just prior to the All-Star break, was on the sidelines for 20 games. The 1-1 delivery is swung on and missed. A breaking ball by Gary Nolan. 1 ball and 2 strikes. For the Rosenbach. Gary has already changed his uniform shirt. He was soaking wet by the 3rd inning. Now the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Leon struck out on a breaking pitch by Gary Nolan. For Gary Nolan, his 4th strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on at the end of 5 innings. First game of a doubleheader, the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the New York Mets 1. The Reds lead 3-1. Top of the 6th inning. Tommy Helms is the batter. Helms is bounced to the mound, fly to center. And a pitch by Gentry that's over, strike 1 call. Pitch low outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Foy, even with the bag, wide of the line at 3rd. And the pitch is low and away as Gary Gentry stumbled coming out of his windup. And Jerry Grody goes out to the mound. Pitching coach Rube Walker comes out of the dugout, and Rube wants to talk to Gary Gentry. He wants to be sure that Gentry didn't hurt himself on that last pitch. Gary lost his balance as he turned the pitch loose. Back to the dugout, and Gentry delivers 2-1 to Tommy Helms. A ground ball hit to short stride again, Bud Harrelson. He throws it in the dirt. Shamsky comes up with it. Low throw by Bud Harrelson, but Shamsky was equal to it. With one out and nobody on, the batter is Woody Woodward. He has flied to shallow right and drawn a walk. Like Tommy Helms, Woodward seldom strikes out. He's a contact type hitter. Gary Gentry's fastball misses the outside corner, ball one. Today's baseball quiz for the entertainment of the fans here at Shea is now posted. Under the knees, 2 balls and no strikes. Can you name the only player in Cincinnati baseball history who has led the league in base hits on 3 occasions? Gentry's 2-0 delivery to Woody Woodward. A ground ball stroked to short. Harrelson gliding to his left. He's up with it. Throws perfectly to Art Shamsky. 2 men down. 2 outs and nobody on. It brings up the pitcher, Jerry Nolan. Nolan has bounced out to Shamsky. And he sacrificed his second turn at bat, trying to help build a run by moving Woodward over to second. Woodward was left-handed. And a foul ball off the end of the bat. The count strike 1 on Gary Nolan. Takes the pitch. The count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. We are having trouble with our sports ticker this afternoon, and that is the reason we have not been giving you more baseball scores. High foul ball wafted back upstairs, out of play. Reds leading 3-1, top of the 6th inning. First game of a doubleheader. On-deck batter is Pete Rose. Fouled right straight back. Game was tied 1-1, but in the top of the 5th inning, Johnny Bench hit a 2-run homer. A long drive up the power alley in left center. Pitching 1-2. Just missed the inside corner. Home run for Johnny Bench is 42nd of the year, which is a new record for home runs by a catcher in the National League in one season. The 2-2 delivery. Ground ball hammered toward the hole, over in the hole, Bud Harrelson. Now the long throw, and the side is out. And a busy inning for Bud Harrelson. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 6th inning, Shea, the Reds 3 and the Mets 1. At San Francisco, the Giants lead the Cubs 1-0 after an inning and a half. Milt Pappas against Juan Marichal. The Pirates 2, the Dodgers 0 at the end of 1. Pittsburgh scoring twice off Alan Foster. Steve Blass will pitch for the Bucks. St. Louis and San Diego. No score in the 2nd inning. Jerry Royce against Clay Kirby. It's all over at Philadelphia. The Phils blanked the Astros 4-0. Rick Wise early an 8-hit shutout. Wise now 11-11 on the year. will try and start something off for the New York Mets. It'll be Shamsky, Garrett, and Swoboda in the last half of the sixth inning. Art Shamsky has fouled out to Johnny Bench, and he was struck out in the third inning. Jerry Nolan fanned Shamsky with the bases loaded in the third. Mets have had 5 left on over the first 5 innings. Second game of today's doubleheader, Jim McLaughlin will be pitching for the Cincinnati Reds against the Mets ace Tom Seaver. Shamsky, a left-handed pull hitter, stepping in. The outfield swings around to right. Pitched by Gary Nolan, a big curve that's inside and low, ball 1. The only player in Cincinnati history to lead the league and hit 3 times was the old first backer Frank McCormick in 38, 39, and 40. Swing and a miss by Shamsky, 1-1. The on-deck batter. Now the 1-1 pitch to Shamsky, and he lets it go inside and low. 2 balls and a strike. The stadium really has filled up since the doubleheader started. Obviously, many fans remained at home waiting to see whether or not the game could be played. Inside and low, 3-1. The advance sale was over 42,000. That type of an advance sale usually means a sellout if the weather is all right. Pitching 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Shamsky walks leading off the last of the sixth inning. Second walk by Gary Nolan. Wayne Garrett has flied to left and bounced out to first, 0-2. Pitch by Gary Nolan is over the letters to call strike. Tony Perez wide of third against Garrett, but even with the bag. The shortstop, Woody Woodward, shaded towards second, figuring Wayne Garrett as a pull hitter. Now Gary Nolan delivers at a high pop fly into very shallow right field. Pete Rose comes flashing through and makes the catch. Garrett retired. Ron Swoboda coming up. He hit a line single into left field his last time at bat, 1 for 2. Reds 3 and the Mets 1, last of the sixth inning. Now Gary Nolan fires and gets the outside corner with a fastball, strike 1. Joe Foy waits his turn at bat. Pitch to Ron Swoboda, popped up. Towering pop-up near home plate. Johnny Bench calling for it. Right in front of the plate, he has it. 2 men away, Joe Foy will be the hitter, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature is 71 degrees. The time is 5 p.m. Time to look into a low-cost savings bank life insurance plan at Cohoes Savings Bank.
The Reds 3 and the Mets 1, last of the sixth inning. Art Shamsky on first, 2 men away. Joe Foy, the batter. Foy has struck out and flied to center. Each team has 4 hits. That's ball over, strike 1 call. Reds win in front on a 2-run homer by Johnny Bench in the 5th inning. outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Young Gary Nolan with a record of 15-5 this year pitching for the Reds. He's 9-1 lifetime against the Mets. Foy holds up on the bat just in time. The count goes 2-1. Mets are about to wind up their battles with the Western Division. The last month of the season, they'll be playing teams in the Eastern Division. Nolan's 2-1 pitch. Check swing, ball 3, 3-1. The series with Atlanta at Shea Stadium. The Mets will go to Houston, and the series with the Astros will wind up the Western Division competition. From Houston, they'll go to St. Louis, then Chicago. And it's outside ball 4. Joe Foy draws a walk. Tying runs are on base with 2 men away, and Jerry Grody will be hitting. Jerry has drawn a walk and popped up to second, 0 for 1. Gil Hodges sending the sign now to the bullpen. Danny Frisella will start warming up because the pitcher, Gary Gentry, is scheduled up next. Shamsky on second, Joe Foy on first. And the pitch by Gary Nolan is popped up. Down the first base line. Lee May behind first is under him. And he makes the catch. The side is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on. At the end of 6 innings at Shea, the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the New York Mets 1.
The lights have just been turned on here at Shea Stadium as we prepare to go to the 7th inning of the first game. And top of the batting order, Pete Rose is up to lead off for the Cincinnati Reds. He's a switch hitter batting left who's gone 0 for 3. Gary Gentry is the Met pitcher. The Cincinnati Reds are leading by a score of 3-1. Here's Gentry's first pitch in the 7th inning. Check swing, foul ball. Coming back out of play, and it's strike 1. Bobby Tolan is on deck for the Reds. The final 2 meetings of the year between the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. Sunday doubleheader at Shea that was delayed for 2 hours and 15 minutes because of rain. With a change-up hit on the ground down to Shamsky. He boots it, picks it up, gets to first, and it's dropped by Gary Gentry. And now Rose overruns the bag and comes back. He's safe there. Lead-off base runner. An assist for Shamsky and an error charge against Gentry. It was a smash that was short hopped by Shamsky and then popped up into the air. He retrieved it, got it over to Gentry in time, but Gentry muffed it and is charged with an error. Bobby Tolan's the batter. He's 1 for 3. Had a base hit his first time up here today. Here's the pitch to Tolan, and it's outside. He wasn't sacrificing. He was ready to swing away. Joe Foy had moved in way in on the edge of the grass at third for the Mets. Shamsky is holding against the runner, Pete Rose, at first. The Reds 3, Mets 1. Gentry again set, deals a pitch to Tolan, and it's in there for a called strike, 1-1. Pittsburgh Pirates are leading the Dodgers by a score of 3-0 in the top of the 4th inning. That's in Los Angeles. Pirates started the day 2.5 games ahead of the Mets. That's high and away for a ball. It's 2-1. Set. Now the 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Sends out the sign to Gentry. Rose takes the lead at first base. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Here, ball hit on the ground to Shamsky. Up with it, he plays across to Harrelson. The throw back to Gentry, and he's safe at first. Gentry is arguing the call with Augie Donatelli. Gentry is indicating that Dolan stepped on his foot back at first. Gentry is incensed at Augie Donatelli, and here comes Gil Hodges out of the dugout, trotting out toward first. Gentry thought they had pulled off a 3-6-1 double play. As it turns out, they get the 3-6 fourth, but Dolan becomes the runner at first. Hodges has returned. He was simply going out to try to be sure his pitcher didn't get thrown out of the ball game. Dolan becomes the runner at first. He's had 47 stolen bases this year to lead the National League. Tony Perez is coming up. He's had a pair of doubles today and a walk. Boy is over talking to Gentry, trying to settle him down a little bit. Gentry was incensed. He was stomping on. He takes a look at his foot now. Here comes Hodges out to the mound. He's got Priscilla down there in the bullpen, and Hodges wants to come out and see Gentry for a moment also. Are batting in the top of the seventh inning. Jerry Grody will go out and join the conclave at the mound. It was a bang-bang play at first as Harrelson took Shamsky's throw at second for the force and fired it right back to the pitcher, Gentry, covering. Gentry thought they had the double play, but in the crowd, the call was made safe by Augie Donatelli. Hodges finishes talking to his young pitcher, trying to settle him down. And Gentry with one man out must face Perez and bench. He looks in to get the sign as Dolan takes his lead at first. Pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 is the count to right-hand batter Tony Perez, who's knocked in one run and scored one here today. Gentry's pitch. A little low. He goes behind 2-0 to Perez. Bench is kneeling there on deck, leaning on the bat. Have 4 hits and the Mets have 4 hits, but one of Cincinnati's 4 was a 2-run homer by Johnny Bench, and that's the difference in the ball game. 2-0 delivery. Swung it on the ground to short. Harrelson has it. He goes to Garrett. That's one. Throw to first. That's two. A double play. It goes short to second to first. Harrelson to Garrett to Shamsky. That is retired as Garrett took the pivot and pegged on. So it's no run, no hit. An error and none left. In the middle of the seventh, the score is Reds 3 and the Mets 1. Well, the Mets are coming up in the bottom of the seventh, and Ed Craneville will bat for Gary Gentry. Danny Frisella's throwing in the bullpen. Gil Hodges goes to his bench. You're in the bottom of the seventh to try to get the Mets back in the ball game with the Reds, leading by a score of 3-1. Jerry Nolan is rocking along. He has not allowed the Mets more than one hit in any one inning. The Mets got their run. A leadoff homer by Tommy Agee in the first inning. Gets up to throw in the Cincinnati bullpen. Craneville's a left-hand batter, and here's the pitch. It is taken high and away. He checks the swing. For the year, Craneville's made Major League average is 114. He's had 1 run batted in. He's 4 for 35. That's in for a call strike. It's 1-1. Tommy Agee is waiting on deck. Mets batting in the bottom of the 7th with Cincinnati out front 3-1. That's low and inside. It's 2-1. Gary Nolan walked 2 batters in the 6th inning. He walked 2 in the 3rd inning as well, so he had walked 4 and he struck out 4. Here's 2-1 pitch, swung on and foul back. It's 2-2. Giants are leading the Cubs 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning at San Francisco. Here's a swing and a miss. Greenfield strikes out. Tommy Agee has homered, walked, and had a base hit. Can you name the cola that's cooling off the hot town? From Oshkosh to Miami to L.A., it's Royal Crown Cola, the one with the kicky taste. Here's a swing and a foul ball, backing out of play. Gary Nolan walks back to the rosin bag. Picks it up, slams it down, and delivers to Agee. Swing and a drive. It's deep to left, going back to the wall. It's Carbo. It is gone for a home run for Agee. His 2nd of this ball game. It is the 3rd time this year that Tommy Agee has hit 2 home runs in a game. Carbo went back and made a leap to try to get a glove on that one. For Agee, his 21st homer of the season. And the Mets trail now by 1 run. It's the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. Bud Harrelson's the batter with 1 man out. Slide to right, popped out, and slide to left. Here's a swing and a foul ball to the right side out of play. Strike 1. The Reds 3 runs, 4 hits. The Mets 2 runs, 5 hits. Mets have had 2 homers, and the Reds have had 1. The difference is that there was a man on when pinch hit here. Here's a swing and a high pop foul coming back. Pitch comes to the screen, and he makes the catch. So Harrelson has fouled out to the catcher. Bud has gone 0 for 4. Leon Jones is coming up. Grounded out at an infield hit and struck out. 1 for 3. Ron Taylor is throwing in the Met bullpen now. Priscilla was throwing earlier, and now it's Ron Taylor. Bill Pappas is pitching this afternoon for the Cubs. He's 9-5. Juan Marichal is pitching for the Giants. He's 7-9, and the Giants lead 1-0. Batting now in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Steve Blass is pitching for Pittsburgh. Alan Foster for the Dodgers. Pirates lead 3-0, batting in the 4th. The pitch to Cleon Jones, and it's in there for a called strike. And Gary Nolan into the motion. Pitch is low and away for a ball. It's 1-1. Art Shamsky's on deck. The 1-1 pitch. And it's high for a ball. It's 2-1. to the Met cause here. Johnny Bench sends out a sign now. Nolan's delivery. Get on the ground to third. Tony Perez takes it foul. Back of the bag. Out of play. Leon down to the bag at first. Turns around to come back. The count is full at 3-2. Pitch with 2 men out. And it's on the way. He checked and took it low and away. Plate umpire Dave Davidson has help from Augie Donatelli, the umpire at first, who says he held up. That's the 5th walk given up by Gary Nolan, and it brings Sparky Anderson out of the dugout. Anderson has come out of the dugout on the way to the mound. Champs keep coming up. The sign has gone to the bullpen. Sign has gone out to the bullpen. Gary Nolan has only 3 complete games and 29 starts, and he will not get a complete game here today because the Reds are making a pitching change right here. Clay Carroll is the pitcher who will be coming in. He is coming in to make his 49th appearance of the year. He's won 8 and lost 2. He worked against the New York Mets in the first game of this series for 1 1/3, allowed no runs, no hits. Last time he gave up a run was on August the 2nd to the Chicago Cubs. So Gary Nolan has gone out, credited with 6 2/3. Reached for 2 runs on 5 hits. 2 homers by Agee. Struck out 5, walked 4. Carroll is arriving now at the mound. Gary Gentry has already been removed, having worked 7 innings, in which he gave up 3 runs on only 4 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 5. Down at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, the Phils defeated the Houston Astros by a score of 4-0. Rick Wise got the win. Wade Blasingame took the loss. Darren Johnson hit his 24th homer. Atlanta, scheduled in Montreal, postponed because of rain. Now the Cubs have scored 2 runs in the 5th. Going to the bottom of the 5th, it's Chicago 2 and the Giants 2. Milt Pappas against Juan Marichal. Ron Santo hit a 2-run homer, his 20th of the year, for the Cubs in the 5th inning. The Pittsburgh Pirates have picked up 3 more runs. They now lead the Dodgers 6-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. Steve Blass against Alan Foster, relieved by Fred Norman in the 4th. The end of 4 innings of play, it's the Cardinals 1 and the Padres 1. Jerry Royce 4 and 5 against Clay Kirby 8 and 14. Jose Cardinal hit his 7th home in the 4th with nobody on. The American League, the White Sox beat the Yankees 2-0 in the first game. Tommy John over Fritz Peterson. Second game is scoreless at the end of an inning. Mike Kekich for the Yanks 2 and 3. Bob Miller 5 and 7 for Chicago. Cleveland beat Oakland 8-6. Rick Austin the winner. Bob Locker the loser. Detroit beat Milwaukee 1-0. Now Art Shamsky is up. Clay Carroll off the stretch. Jones leads at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Hammered on the ground to first. And a foul ball. Glove by Lee May in foul territory. Washington beat Minnesota 11-1. Kansas City beat Boston 4-3. California and Baltimore later. Right here, the Reds are leading the Mets by a score of 3-2. With 2 men out, the Mets have the tying run on at first. Batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. for the big swing and the long ball, and Shamsky hasn't had one in a while. Breaking pitch, and it popped up. At second base, Helms is back there calling, and he makes the catch.
So the side is out. It's 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, a walk, and 1 left.
And at the end of 7 full innings of play, the score is the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. Ron Taylor is in to do the pitching for the New York Mets. Taylor is making his 49th appearance of the year. He has won 4 and he's lost 4. Last time out against the Houston Astros, he worked 1 2/3, allowed no runs and 2 hits. Ron Taylor. He leads the Mets staff in saves with 12. Through the first 7 innings here in this first game of a doubleheader, the Reds 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Mets 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. In the second game here today, Tom Seaver will be the Met pitcher. He's won 17 and lost 8. Jim McLaughlin will be going for Cincinnati. He's won 11 and he's lost 7. Johnny Bench is up now. He walked, he grounded out, and he hit a 2-run homer. The homer was number 42 for Johnny Bench. What a year he's having. Spring training, he was asked how many home runs he thought he'd hit. He said he'd be perfectly satisfied if he could hit 30. Most people would. He's hit 42. Taylor's pitch is low and away for a ball. Now the 1-0 delivery. And it's belted into left for a base hit. Extra bases. Swoboda's over into the corner. Overruns the ball. Benches at second. It's a double anyway. Swoboda up with it. Wings it in. Johnny Bench with a double. Lee May fly to left, walk, and foul out to the catcher. Danny Frisella gets up to throw in the Mets bullpen. Johnny Bench has called time to tie a shoelace. Taylor with the pitch. Foul back and it's out of play. Strike 1. To the wall and makes the catch. Bench tags at second and moves over to third and slides in safely as Harrelson takes the throw from Jones. He was way back at the wall in left center, having to come through, slash his way through the standing water out there. Now there's a runner at third, 1 man out, and Bernie Carbo's up. He's a left-hand batting outfielder who has walked, flied to left, and lined to center. Mets have to bring the infield in. The Reds lead 3-2, and they're batting here in the top of the 8th inning. You know, the only thing that's going to impress you about a White Owl cigar is how it tastes compared to other cigars. To really appreciate a White Owl cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. The lights are on, and here's the pitch. It's in for a call strike to Bernie Carbo. In his freshman year, he's hitting .310. He's followed by Tommy Helms. easily. Swoboda comes up with the ball, plays it back, and it's a single to left and a run batted in for Carbo. And the Reds are leading by a score of 4-2. Tommy Helms has grounded out, flied out, and grounded out. Shamsky holds against the runner at first. Carbo leads. Pitch to the right-hand batter. Pitch out, and it is lined to Shamsky. Tipped on the bag for a double play. No, it's not a double play. They have the runner in a rundown, and now he is out for evading a tag by Harrelson. Augie Donatelli ruled that Shamsky short-hopped the ball. He took the ball and went to the bag thinking he might have a double play. Then he threw down to Harrelson. Harrelson trying to tag Carbo. Carbo ran out of the base path and was called out, so the side is retired.
We will be back on side 2 to continue the game.
Double play. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, none left in the middle of the 8th inning. The score is the Reds 4 and the Mets 2. The Mets are trailing by 2, and Wayne Garrett's up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Garrett pitches in for a called strike. On the double play ending the last inning, Carbo was running on the pitch, and Tommy Helms threw the bat at the ball to protect him. Here's a curveball hit on the ground to Lima at first. He takes it unassisted, and Garrett is out. Ron Swoboda's coming up. He's 1 for 3. Official scorer Leonard Coffey of the New York Times said that pending any further explanation by umpire Augie Donatelli, that it will be scored as a short hop to the first baseman Shamsky, who then went to the bag for the put out there, and the out on Carbo was 3-6 as we had called it. There was some discussion at the end of the inning indicating that Donatelli might have called it a double play on the fly. Here's a swing and a high pop to the right side, and May is retreating. He's in fair territory, and he makes the catch. So Swoboda has popped out, and 2 Mets are out in the 8th inning. Joe Foy struck out, flied to center, and walked. The Reds scored in the first inning, and so did the Mets on a solo homer by Agee. Then Johnny Bench hit a 2-run homer for the Reds in the 5th to send them ahead 3-1. Agee homered again in the 7th to make it 3-2, and the Reds pushed across another run in the 8th inning. Clay Carroll's pitch, low for a ball. Pitcher of record, of course, is Gary Nolan, who worked the first 6 2/3 in quest of his 16th victory of this season. That pitch is low. It's 2-0 out of Foy. Jerry Grody waits on deck. This first game was delayed 2 hours, 15 minutes because of rain. Here's a pitch that's inside. It goes to 3-0 out of Foy. When you trail by 2, you want a base runner. The Reds lead 4-2. They have 6 hits. The Mets have 5. That's high, and the Mets have a base runner. It's a walk to Foy. Second walk to Foy is drawn. It's the first one issued by Clay Carroll. It brings up Jerry Grody, tying run at the plate. He has walked and popped out twice. Grody has 2 home runs and 26 runs batted in this year. With Taylor's schedule up next, Danny Frisella continues to throw in the Met bullpen. Ball to shortstop. Woodward has it. He goes to the bag unassisted, and the side is out. So it's no run, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 left. The end of 8 full innings of play. The score is the Reds 4 and the Mets 2. Now the Cincinnati Reds come up in the 9th inning with Woody Woodward to lead off. Through 8 innings of play, the Reds 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Mets 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Ron Taylor is working in relief of Gary Gentry, who worked the first 7 innings and is the pitcher of record. The
has become overcast here again at Shea Stadium.
Woodward, number 6.
Taylor's first pitch in the 9th inning. Foul back, and it's strike one to Woody Woodward. Waiting on deck is Clay Carroll. Here's the strike one pitch. Curveball hit on the ground towards short. Taken by Harrelson. He guns it across to Shamsky, and Woodward is up. One away, and the pitcher Clay Carroll is shedding the jacket, coming up for his first time in this ball game. The Reds are leading by a score of 4-2. Carroll is 1 for 8 this season at the plate. He's a right-hand batter. Ron Taylor's pitch is swung on and missed. It's strike one. Now the pitch right down the pipe, and it's 0-2. Pete Rose working on the handle of the bat with the pine tar. On-deck circle. 2-strike delivery to Carroll. He checked the swing, took it high and away, and it's 1-2. Started to go and laid off. There's a great area of standing water out in center field. Almost any direction in which center fielder Cleon Jones might choose to move will bring him into water up over his shoe top. Here's a swing and a foul ball to the right side now to play. Tommy Agee started in center, but he injured a knee yesterday that was examined this morning by Met team physician Dr. Peter Lamont, and he wrapped it for him with a football-type bandage. But going through the heavy going of the water in center, Agee seemed to be having a little trouble, so he was switched over to right. Here's a ground ball to short. Harrelson charges, comes up throwing in time to get the pitcher, who doesn't get down to first in too big a hurry. 2 away. Pete Rose is the batter. He is 0 for 4. He was on an error by Gentry in the 7th inning. Rose is batting .315 for the season. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the New York Mets will send up a pinch hitter for Ron Taylor, followed by Tommy Agee, who's had 2 home runs today, and Bud Harrelson. Swinging a foul ball back and out of play. And it is low for a ball, 1-1. In the top of the 7th, the Cubs are leading the Giants 3-2. Pirates are now leading the Dodgers 7-0. Here's a swing and a fly ball to center, and Jones goes back into the water and makes the catch. So the side is retired in order by Ron Taylor. In the 9th inning, nothing across, and in the middle of the 9th inning, the score is Cincinnati Reds 4 and the New York Mets 2. Ralph Kiner will be along for the play-by-play in just a moment.
We're going now to the bottom of the 9th inning. You New York fans, of course, looking for at least 2 runs to tie. That's down to the last 3 outs. And a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Ron Taylor. Ken Singleton will try and get it going for the Mets. Singleton batting .276 for the year, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, been in 43 ball games. Left-hand batter against the right-hander, Clay Carroll. The first pitch is outside, ball 1.
had 4 runs, 6 hits. No errors. The Mets 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Now the pitch back to Singleton, low, ball 2. Wayne Granger, a right-hander, throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Don Gullo, the left-hander. 2 balls, no strikes. Carroll came in the ball game in the 7th inning. Now he picks up a strike and the count 2-1. Fedor Chemsky to pop up the second with a runner on first. In the 8th inning, he retired the Mets. Without any trouble. Now base hit to left field. Ken Singleton with a line shot between short and third out to left field, and the Mets have a runner at first, and they have the tying run coming up. Tommy Agee, the batter, he's had 2 home runs. Has gone out to the mound. The manager of the Cincinnati Reds, he has his 8th relief pitcher, Wayne Granger, a sidearmer throwing in the bullpen. The sign has gone out, and that is all for Clay Carroll. That was the only hit that the Mets have had off Clay Carroll. And it puts the time run at the plate. The batter, Tommy Agee, he's had 2 home runs. He has accounted for the Mets 2 runs. He also has had another base hit, and he also has walked. Clay Carroll going out of the ball game, and coming in is Wayne Granger. Wayne is making his 52nd appearance. He relieved against the Mets on the 22nd. Worked 1 inning, gave up no hits and no runs. Has a record of 6-2. Ninth inning. Mets down to their last 3 outs in the ball game, unless they can tie it up. And this ball game that was delayed 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now in the hands of Wayne Granger. Let's take a look at what has taken place in the National League. Philadelphia beat Houston 4-0. Rick Wise, the winning pitcher. Atlanta and Montreal rained out at the end of 6. Chicago 3, San Francisco 2. Home run by Ron Santo, his 20th, the 5th with 1 arm. Juan Marichal pitching for the Giants. At the end of 5, it's Pittsburgh 7. Dodgers nothing. Steve Glass working on that shutout. Foster started for the Dodgers. Norman relieved him in the 4th. At the end of 5, San Diego 3, St. Louis 1. Home runs by Cardinal and Campbell. Royce and Kirby, the opposing pitchers. In the American League, Chicago defeated the Yankees 2-0 in the first game. Winning pitcher was Tommy John. The losing pitcher, Peterson, no home runs. In the second game, at the end of 1.5 innings, the Yankees won, Chicago nothing. Mike Kekich against Bob Miller. Josephson, a home run. And Josephson's home run tying up the ball game for the White Sox as they bat in the second. Cleveland over Oakland 8-6. Detroit beat Milwaukee 1-0. Washington pounded Minnesota 11-1. Kansas City over Boston 4-3. California scheduled against Baltimore. Now Tommy Agee stepping in the batter's box. No one out, bottom of the 9th. Singleton is first. Agee hitting .289. The first pitch. It is hit into the right field corner, but it is curving. Will it stay fair or foul? It is a foul ball. So a foul ball down in the right field corner, foul by about 10 feet. And the count is strike 1. Pitch is grounded foul on the third base side, and strike 2. be getting 2 strikes on Tommy Agee. Ray Carroll going out of the ball game gets credit for 1 1/3 innings of work. He has not been charged with a run so far. Singleton at first is his responsibility. He gave up 1 hit, struck out none, walked 1. So Agee backed up with a 2-strike count. And the next pitch, hit hard. Right through into center field, a base hit. Singleton makes the turn at second base and holds there. And Tolan quickly gets to the ball and gets it back in. So the Mets now have the tying run at first as Tommy Agee gets his 4th base hit. He's 4 for 4 in the ball game with a walk, 2 home runs. Now Weiss is joined in the run for him. That is the 4th time this year that Tommy Agee's had 4 hits in the ball game. And it brings up Bud Harrelson. That ball was hit not too far from Tommy Helms, the second baseman, but hit so hard that he could not catch up to it. Now Harrelson at bat. Reds are looking for a sacrifice. Agee with a bad knee being taken out for a pinch runner. Weiss replacing him at first base. Harrelson batting left-handed against the right-handed. The bunt is out in front of the plate. Throw goes to third base. A long throw. Singleton gets up. He comes on in. Weiss holds at second base. And Scarborough backs up the play. And the Mets have a run in. They're 1 run behind with runners at first and second. No one out. And Granger's throw, I believe, would have been late. It also was a wild throw. So there'll be an error in the play. Possible sacrifice. It is being scored. Originally being scored a base hit, but I believe that will be changed. Now for the Mets, it's Leon Jones coming up. Time run at second. The winning run is at first base. No one out in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the pitch to Cleon. He squares, bunts the ball straight in the air, and coming over to make the play is Wayne Granger. So Cleon not able to sacrifice. The Mets lose it out, and it brings up Art Shamsky. Shamsky is 0 for 3 in the game. The play on Harrelson is being scored as a sacrifice. Fielder's choice. And an error against the pitcher allowing the run to score. So now it's Art Shamsky at the plate. Thompson's at first base. No one out in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the pitch to Cleon. He squares, bunts the ball straight in the air. And coming over to make the play is Wayne Granger. So Cleon not able to sacrifice. The Mets lose it out, and it brings up Art Shamsky. Shamsky is 0 for 3 in the game. The play on Harrelson is being scored as a sacrifice. Fielder's choice. And an error against the pitcher allowing the run to score. So now it's Art Shamsky at the plate. Conference at the mound between Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, his first year in the major leagues, and his pitcher, Wayne Granger, along with Johnny Bench, has concluded. Shamsky has fouled out, struck out, walked, and popped up to second. That's trying to pull this one out. And the first pitch to Shamsky is outside a ball. Fastball missing. Don Geller, the left-hander, was throwing in the bullpen, is throwing in the bullpen. Now the 1-0 pitch. It is grounded to the middle, a base hit. That's good tied up. White comes around third, he'll score. Harrelson going to throw. Third, he draws the throw, and the Mets get the tying run across the right third is walked to load up the bases. That brings up Ron Swoboda. Ron Swoboda 1 for 4 in the ballgame. Ron batting at .243. Batting with 1 man out of the 9th inning. Game for the Mets if they can pull it out. Started the action 2.5 games back. Here's the 1 strike pitch. It is swung on and missed. Strike 2. So Ron now down with the count at strike 2 against him. On deck batter Joe Foy. Wayne Ranger taking the sign. Here's the right-hander's windup and the pitch. It is inside, just inside, ball 1. It could not have been more than an inch off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ranger checks his outfield. Outfield very, very shallow, playing at a point where they feel they can catch a fly ball and throw the runner out trying to score from third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is, again, inside, just inside, ball 2. And again, Swoboda taking a very close pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bud Harrelson, a fast man at third. Jansky is on at second. Wayne Garrett on at first. Now the sign goes out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is grounded slowly out toward third, a foul ball. Tony Perez fields the ball in foul territory just to the right side, the foul side of the bag. So Harrelson goes back to third. He is the winning run. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's with 2 runs in. Need 1 more. Here's the windup, and again the 2-2 pitch. It is swung on and missed, and Ron Swoboda is struck out for the second out of the inning. That leaves it up to Joe Foy. Joe has been up 4 times. He has struck out. He has flied out to left field. He has walked twice. The infield drops back at short and second to a deep depth. Foy batting at .238. He has driven in 33 runs. Here's the first pitch. It is low, ball 1. Ranger with that sidearm motion. 2 men away, bottom of the 9th. The score tied 4-4. Delivery. It is outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strike. Two balls, no strike. Bases loaded. And the pitch to Foy. It is inside, ball 3, and the count 3 balls, no strike. Granger with another ball will lose the ball game. No place to put Foy. The count 3 at all. Foy checks with the third base coach to see what he's doing. You can believe he'll be taking now the 3-0 pitch. He takes the ball low, and the Mets win it. New York Mets on the walk with the bases loaded come from behind with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning and win the ball game by a score of 5-4.
hours and 15 minutes by rain, and with the Cincinnati Reds leading by a score of 4-2. The Mets score 3 runs in the ninth inning to win it by a score of 5-4. In the inning, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on. And the final score of the game, the Mets 5, the Cincinnati Reds 4.
This is WOKO 1460, Albany, New York. The second half of the Mets doubleheader immediately following the World Tomorrow.